children being taken away from their families because they go to hospital and they show bruises or bumps. So in Leeds, there were major riots yesterday because a Romanian family whose child dropped a child and caused a bump took that child to the hospital, and immediately social services police were involved. And they came to the house and they took all of the children. That was the reason for the riot. Now, all I want to say about this is that when you take your child to the hospital, it's because you're genuinely concerned that something has occurred to them and that they are unwell and that you want to help the child. And the people that receive you shouldn't judge and shouldn't make assumptions based on who you are, where you're from, and potential safeguarding training that they might have had against this minority. Because I think that's what's happened here. People have been judged incorrectly, and the riots, as unjustified the attacks, etc., were, when somebody comes in and starts to take your kids away from you, people are going to stand up for it, aren't they? And this isn't the first time. I'm telling you, it's happened before to many other people that I've spoken to, and they have gone through a system which is lengthy and will brand you guilty until there's sufficient information to prove your innocence, even if it takes years for that to happen and for you to then be detached and away from your children. Because there's flaws in the system. I'm sorry to say it, but there are flaws in the system, and they will recognise them, and they know it. Having been in the system as a foster carer, I can say that there are flaws that need to be addressed, particularly dealing with family matters in the courts, and that can take forever, and the turmoil that they put the families through only to get to the other end to make an assumption, balance of probability, and decide that the case is going to be dropped, or they have to make an assumption on the balance of probability, because when a child's involved, and a child that can't speak, let's say, there's nobody else to defend. And so the parents become the guilty party until there is some form of defence in place. And I can understand that there are guilty parents out there and there are children that need to be safeguarded. But when the parents are telling you that this is what's occurred, and then the police don't carry out the investigations until maybe like a year later in some cases, I can tell you that too, or don't even bother to go to the house to carry out their investigations. They call in social services and away they go, taking their actions. And then those parents are put on bail for months until the police can actually investigate the matter. It's really unfair. The system needs correcting, because you can't just do that to a family. You break them up, you destroy them, you create negativity, you create insecurity, and just situations that wouldn't have already been there if this one action of an individual that has had some training or is now mentally impaired because of whatever else is going on around the world feel that they are doing the right thing. Might even be personal issues, mightn't it? They might have an issue with that minority and decide that they are going to tar them with brushes and brand them to be something that they're not, because they don't agree, or they portray them to be something because of what they're seeing at first glance. Anyway, I think that's enough.